Well, hey, Friday, folks. How are you? I'll late as usual. You in a minute, cheeky bugger. That was posted at 7:58. Actually, yeah. Apologies for changing the time. Where's the camera? The camera's over there. Wait a wee minute. I need to. That's quite annoying. I'm going to move. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll just. Yeah. I'll look over here. In fact, no, I'm going to move this screen so I can actually see the comments. There we go. How's that? Evening, Colin. Yeah, listen, I was meant to be. I thought I was going to be out late tonight. I was at a Cook Soul. It was actually the opening of our dojang. And dojang's the name of a Cook Soul. I think in other martial arts it's called what do you call it? A dojo, but it's dojang in Cook Soul. So it was official opening, and we had 5 sort of grandmasters along to open. One of them being the basically the inventor of Cook Soul, his son Alex, all the way from the United States. So yeah, so there was. It's good. I was actually meant to, but they have what they do is they have the black belts doing all their kind of demonstrations, and then you're going to basically get shown some moves. But I don't actually feel that well. Hence the reason I've got my jacket on. I'm actually feeling quite cold. I was lying down I was downstairs watching the TV, and I fell asleep, and I actually woke up just about 10 to 8. It's almost slept in. So anyway, how are you? I hope you're all doing okay. At least it's Friday, and I've decided since it's Friday to have a bottle of alcohol. First one for about I don't know, quite a while. Cheers. Ah, dear. So anyway, yeah, how are we all? I've got Mark, whatever. We've got Tony, and we've got Mr. Ian Hunter, and not forgetting Mr. Colin Ferguson. Yeah, like I said, I did originally have, this planned for. I think it was at 10 o'clock, and then I got out early, and I thought, you know what, I'll do it a wee bit. I'll do it a wee bit earlier. So, listen, it is going to be a short one. I'm going to refrain from any carry on style jokes because I don't want to offend anyone. It is going to be quite a short one. Evening, how are you, Mr. LFC? Hope you're well, buddy. I think last week when what do you call it? Last Friday's waffle, I was joined with Panther, and we didn't. I think we blathered for something like 2 hours, and we didn't answer any questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the questions from two waffles ago, and then we'll look at the questions from last week if there's any, and if there's anything you want to hear my worldly views on, anything at all within reason, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Mark, whatever's, cheers. He's having a beer too off work till a week Tuesday. Oh, nice. How many sleeps is that? That's about what? About 10 sleeps. That's all right. That's actually not bad at all. I'm off for 6 days in middle of May. Got a wee while yet. I'm actually going down to London. So if anyone's in the London area and going to be down the middle of May, give me a shout and we'll try and hook up. I am meeting one of my other mates down there, but like I said, yeah, if you're down that neck of the woods and you want to get together for a beer or a coffee or whatever, breaking news: Will Smith banned for 10 years. Who cares? Seriously, who cares when you see what's going on in the world? Anyway, more importantly, hang on, I'm going to move this across here. That can go over there. Right, where's my? Hang on, what the hell's going on here? Move that down there. Hang on. There we are. Right, good. I've got multiple screens open. Yeah, it was. You know what? It was excellent. I mean, I speak to Panther. I speak to Panther pretty regularly. When I was in my old job, I used to phone him. I wouldn't say every single night, but I used to phone him quite a lot. But you know, we keep up to date all the time. We catch up on Discord and YouTube. But that was actually the first video that I've made with him. I don't know. I think it would be since the live waffle we did when I was actually down in Devon. I don't know when it was, October, something like that. Anyway, retro gaming. Logan Paul. He's apparently a YouTuber. Never actually heard of him. He has become famous because he owns the most expensive Pokemon card in existence, and it's reportedly valued at $5,275,000, which is what he paid for the card before additional fees. Can you imagine how much money you would have to pay that for a stupid card? I mean, let's have a wee look at the card. Has he got a picture of it? There you go. Is it going to tell you what it is? Do we really care? Nah, we don't really give a shit, do we? But yeah, it's a Charizard Pokemon card. Who knew? I mean, I just don't get it. So when people tell you that you can't make any money on YouTube, that's not technically true. I make virtually hee-haw, but there's obviously people making a lot of money. Absolutely nuts. Crazy. Right, listen, what I thought I would do, if I can find it, where the hell's it going? What happened to it? I did have a tab open. What I thought I'm going to do, a wee minute. Retro gaming news. Now, if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you'll probably know that I'm the last person to actually, even again, I'm the last person to actually know what's current in video games. You know, because quite frankly, I don't really give a shit. You know, I'm more interested in getting together with mates, talking shite on YouTube, playing my games and what have you. I don't really follow retro news at all, but I thought to try and bring something different to the waffle, I shall go through it. So this is called Retro Dodo. Coca-Cola launches a Pixel, a Pixel flavored soft drink. Let's see what all this shite is about. Have you ever wondered what a Pixel would taste like? No, me neither. But apparently the team behind Coca-Cola have figured out exactly what a Pixel tastes like, and their latest limited edition flavour is just that. The main objective of this campaign is to grab the attention of gamers. This is due to the huge growing market of gaming consumables. The gaming market, as we know, is growing more than ever, and to find sugar-free soft drinks that hits the spot when gaming is hard to come by. There's so much to choose from that Coca-Cola now wants a piece of this market in hopes that gamers choose Coca-Cola Bite, as their go-to choice of beverage when playing games. They've also teamed up with PWR to create a custom Fortnite experience within the game called Pixel Point. What a lot of absolute shite. I mean, seriously, fucking pixel flavoured juice. What a lot of bollocks. Right, I've just closed down my retro news thing. Let's get back in again. Handheld history and our upcoming books. Nah, it's boring. Amberneck RG503 is yet another leaked handheld. Is it me, or are we all getting quite bored of yet another retro gaming handheld? I mean, I can always remember, it was 2005, and I was down in Evening Craig, and I was down in Oxford at the Retrovision, which was, it was one of the real early sort of retro events, and a guy came in with what I kind of thought was like a kind of Game Boy, and then he loaded up a Commodore 64 on this handheld, and that absolutely blew my mind. Having a portable Commodore 64, I was just blown away. And it turns out that was the Game Park, which was a kind of homebrew. I suppose it was like one of the early Kickstarter things. It was a group of enthusiasts getting together, and they wanted to come up with, the sort of like the best, make it the best thing possible. So yeah, the Game Park, and I mean, it was later superseded. I think you had the game, was it called the Game Park 32? It was black and white, or it was kind of grey, like I said, a Game Boy. And then they brought out the Game Boy Blue BLU, which had a backlit screen. That's right. The original Game Park didn't. It was just kind of. It was like a game. It was literally like a Game Boy. You had to have really good light behind you to kind of see the damn thing. Then they brought out the Game Boy Blue, which I think was probably just as powerful, or it wasn't any different. But then they brought out the. You can't see it. Well, you maybe can see it. It's up there. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, see that orange one? That's my Amberneck, whatever. And then underneath that is my Pandora, which I've let you see before. I'm not going to bother showing you again. It's a portable PC. You can run Linux. I don't think you can put Windows on it. It's ancient. I mean, I think the processor in it is something like I don't know, like a Pentium something or another. It's really, really slow. But you know what? Excuse me. Pound for pound, it's still a fantastic little emulation powerhouse. I mean, it does the PlayStation down the way. Now, for something that came out probably the best part of 20 years ago, it's awesome. But anyway, moving kind of up to date. Yeah, there's been so many consoles, and every other one that comes out is going to be the best one. Yeah, and I mean, I kind of bought into them a few times. I said I've got the Amberneck, and I've got the Game Park, GPD X. I can't even remember the bloody name of the thing. The GPD thing. and then I had the I've still got it actually, the NVIDIA Shield clamshell thing. Now, to my mind, I don't think anything's actually beaten either of these things. But anyway, here's another one. But yeah, Tony Walker has just mentioned the Steam Deck. What's happened to that? It seems to have kind of just gone very, very quiet. I mean, I think this is crazy. I think I backed it. I'm sure I backed the expensive one. It cost me like a whopping £5. Has anybody actually got it? I mean, I believe they were going to bring out like the sort of the smallest storage version. I can't remember what it was. And then they were going to bring out the next one, and then they were going to bring out the main one. Have they come out? Does anybody know, have they actually come out? Am I going to buy one? Nah, I don't think so. The appeal for me getting one, apart from it being a kind of new bit of tech, and I do like a new bit of tech, like most people. The appeal for me would be to basically have my PC, more importantly, coin ops on a handheld, so you could play. You had everything from MAME to the Sega Saturn, 3DO. Having all these games on one system would be pretty epic. But there's two reasons why I'm probably not going to buy it now. Well, three. One, I can't afford it. Two, I've heard not very good things about it. I don't think it's been as well received as some people would like it to be. And the third one, which is probably the most important thing for me, I love the fact that I can play, 5,000 arcade games on a handheld. It's nuts, absolutely nuts that you can do that. I love the fact that you can do that. But the problem for me is my eyesight. I mean, I've got new lenses in, which allows me to the old lenses I used to wear gave me like 20/20 vision. I could see, distance really, really well. And but the problem was, if I had my lenses in, I couldn't sort of, in the darkness. If I was to hold up my phone like that, I wouldn't really be able to read it if it's dark. But I've got new lenses now, and I thought they were like, I couldn't actually figure out how could a lens allow you to see distance and see up close. I never actually understood how that would work until a couple of days ago. I put my new lenses in, and I noticed that my distance vision was fantastic, but I was struggling to read small print. And I thought, well, have they given me a kind of dodgy pair of lenses? So I contacted Specsavers, and it turns out you've got one for your right eye and one for your left eye. Now, my eyes are the same. They've got the same prescription. It turns out that one of the lenses is quite literally got less strength. So the one in my right eye, I think, gives me the distance, and the one in my left eye isn't quite so strong. They've cut it back a wee bit, but what it does is it gives you it allows me to see up close. So really, really good, really, really good. Anyway, listen, I'm just kind of waffling a wee bit. Hence the reason it's called the Friday Waffle. We will look at. Let's go into comments. I think I did see some. Yeah, thanks very much to everyone that's tuned in tonight. Hope you're having a good Friday. I bet you're glad it's Friday. Yeah, Mark was saying, Waffle with Panther was great. Long time since Panther on the stream. Yeah, Panther's a good lad. LFC finally sorted myself out with another C64. It was a Terminator 2-pack. The game's shite, but it's okay since I have other titles. Nice one. Is that one of the 64Cs, I think? Now, I do own both. I've got the bread bin, the original one. But the one that I use is the 64C. It's got a nicer keyboard, but apparently it's just more reliable. So I would rather not. I don't want to blow my what do you call it? My bread bin one. So I use the 64C. It's got a nicer keyboard. It's apparently a slightly better. It's actually a better computer. Though if you really want to go old school, then it's always going to be the bread bin. So yeah, nice one. A nice little pickup there. Mark, whatever, saying nice one. I booked 3 weeks in Greece in July. Fantastic. You know what? I've not been abroad since 2014, which, well, that's quite. I mean, where are we now? We're looking at the. It's funny how when you want to look at the year, you've still got to look at the date at the bottom of the computer to see. That's 8 years. I don't know when I'm next going to get abroad. I would love to. I would love to. I've got a friend in Canada, and he's told me I'm welcome to go out and stay there. I would love to live in Canada. I'd love to visit the place. So that's on my kind of to-do list. What else? My daughter is desperate to go to Japan. So I would quite like that. I think I would quite like that. I don't know how prices are to go to Japan, but yeah, you never know. Talking of my daughter, we're actually going down to. Is anybody going to Insomnia next Friday or Saturday? Now, if you don't know what Insomnia is, it's not a retro gaming event at all. It's basically a current systems gaming event. It's all about video games, but they do have a massive. They have the big kind of cosplay thing as well. So my daughter's going to be going down. She's going to dress up as somebody. So we're going down on Friday. We're going to stay over. It's at Birmingham, by the way. We're going to stay in the Travel Lodge in Birmingham, and then go to not cosplay, go to Insomnia, and then we're going to come back up on Saturday night. So yeah, I'll need to get my waffle done on Thursday actually, get that done. But if anyone has anyone actually been to Insomnia before? Let me know. And if you are going to be down there on Saturday, absolutely tell me, and we'll get together for a hot dog or something, eh? But I would like to definitely get abroad. It's been way too long. But I am looking forward to this. I'm going down to London in May. I'm going to be staying in Camden. And yeah, tying up with one of my mates. But if there's anyone else going to be down there, give me a shout. Right, Mark is asking here. I'll question Amiga 500 Mini, yes or no? Excuse me, I'm going to ponder this. Talking of which, I don't think he's in tonight. I think he's working, Ponder. I think I think we touched on that one last week actually. The minis, the whole mini thing. Purists will knock the minis. They'll say they're not the real hardware, and they're absolutely correct. They'll say they're emulation, probably correct once again. But you know what? Who gives a shit? Mini systems, I don't think they're not. Well, I was going to say, do you ever notice that I've got a terrible habit of I go to say something and then I think about it and go, well, actually, that's not true. Or I'll say that's technically not true. Yeah, I mean, mini systems, they're aimed at two people, or not two people, they're aimed at two kind of sections of people. Primarily, I would say they're aimed at the people who had the system back in the day when they were 16 years old and they've grown up and they're not into video games at all, but they see this in, you know, on Amazon or Mankind or the gadget shop. Is the gadget shop even a thing? I don't know if it is. I think I might have just made that up. And they'll go, oh Christ, I used to have one of these. Just like I was talking in last week's Waffle, I had a couple of guys taking my bed away, and they happened to, as they're walking past the room, they noticed, I'm not going to turn the camera, if just to the kind of up there, just off camera, I've got an Astro Wars. Excuse me, too much cider. And he's like, oh, bloody hell, I've not seen one of them for years. And I think that's where these minis are aimed at. They're aimed at people who, they're, you know, probably never played an Amiga for like the best part of 30 years. But then I think there's also a section of people who are into video, excuse me, who are into video games, and they want to buy it just because they have this urge to collect everything. They think it's going to go up in value. I mean, I've bought a few things in the past. I don't know if you can see it. No, it's just kind of, if I move out the road, if I go that way, can you see it? No, you can't actually see it. It's just off kind of camera. It's what is it? It's what's the name of that robot in Star Wars? The round ball thing. I can't remember the name of it. It was the one that was in the latest kind of Star Wars films. I bought one of them. It's a remote control where you use your phone to kind of control it. I bought that because I thought it's going to go up in value and it's going to be worth thousands. It's not the case. So I think there's people who collect and they just have to have everything related to gaming. Am I going to buy one right now? No. Possibly yes, or in the future, possibly I should say. Um, I mean, I do champion these things. I mean, the reason I think they're great is because it gives you the opportunity and ease of use to plug it into your big 55 inch, the big TV now. I think people have got 70 inch now. You can plug it into your 70 or 80 inch Samsung TV, and it just plugs in via the HDMI cable, and you can then sit back in your fancy DFS sofa, recline, and you can play cannon fodder or whatever. You can play your Amiga in the comfort of your living room. Now, if you don't have that, trying to play a real Amiga on a modern TV is next to impossible. Why would you want to do it? It just, I don't know, it doesn't look good. So I think these mini systems definitely do have their place. But I mean, what I've got three of them. Excuse me. Definitely coming down with something. I think I have done a couple of COVID tests today. Unfortunately, both have been negative. It's funny that that's the only thing where you see you're positive where it's actually bad, and when you see it's negative, it's good. So I'm actually negative, which is a good thing. Yeah, the mini systems I've got the SNES. Great, you know what? A couple of years ago, when I was at the computer club, I took along the SNES Mini, and one of the lads had the real SNES. And what we do, we fire it. I think it was R Type. R Type has got slowdown, and we fired up R Type on both systems at exactly the same point, switched them both on exactly the same time, and you know what? It played perfectly. So people that go on about, oh, it's emulation. Who gives a shit? Do you really want them to try and retro engineer the chips? It's just not possible. So who cares? Who cares what makes a system run, what powers it, as long as it outputs what you're wanting to do? And in the case of that, play a SNES game. So I don't see what the problem is. So I've got the SNES Mini. My girlfriend got me the Mega Drive Mini, which I have to say I've hardly played it. I think the reason for that is my TV is quite a distance away from my couch, and the controller has got a excuse me, he's got a cable, which is a pain in the arse. So you need to sit really close to it. So that's the only reason I've not really used it. And I also have the PC Engine, which is excellent. It is really, really good. I think I've got. Did I buy a cordless PC Engine one? Yeah, I must have, because I've played it. Yeah, so that's the three mini systems. I'll tell a lie. I've actually got I've also got the Mini 64, which is really good. That sits under my TV. That is my kind of go-to way to play a C64 game on the big TV. So yeah, I think am I going to get one, Mark? Possibly. Right now, I'm in no rush to get one. Let me know what you think. Is it worth it or not? Excuse me. Yeah, Ian Batchelor saying there, it reminds him, we're talking about pixel flavoured crisps. What next? It reminds me hedgehog flavoured crisps back in the 80s. I remember that was a thing. I never actually tried them. What was the other? You used to get mint. I'm sure it was just mint crisps. Absolutely disgusting. Um, Sorry, I'm quite far behind these comments. Ian saying that I think greed must be part of the human DNA. Yeah, we're talking about some twat spending the best part of $6 million on a Pokemon card. I couldn't think of anything worse to spend my money on. Evening, Jambone. How are you, Squire? Yeah, Tony's saying the Steam Deck is where it's at. Well, we'll see. Yeah, Mark's saying Dell is slacking. Yeah, I know. Dell's got quite a lot on his plate at the moment. I don't know if he's going to pop in tonight, but I'm going to be speaking to him on Sunday. But if you're listening, Dell, I hope things are okay, mate. I know he's going through a few kind of personal things at the moment, so we'll send our love, buddy. Hope you're okay, mate. Saying that, it's always nice to have Dell on the channel so we can watch the latest films. Nah, I'm only joking. Dell's a good lad, and if you've not subscribed to his channel, do so right away without wasting any time. Yeah, Mark saying here, people do have the Steam Deck. What's the consensus? Like I says, I don't really get into modern systems or whatever. But from what I kind of gather, see the biggest thing, the biggest failing for most of these handhelds is the battery. The battery doesn't last long enough. Now the whole point of having a portable is it's got to be portable. And if the battery lasts, I don't know, 2 hours, what's the point in that? I've actually done it. I bought it's one of these joystick things. It's just a joystick, and you basically pull it apart, and then you can slide a tablet. So I've got my NVIDIA Shield tablet. So I don't know what size that is. It's about 7 inches or something. Excuse me. It's excellent. So that's what I'm kind of using for my. I've got it at the side of my bed. Is it just me that plays because a quick go of Robotron before bedtime? Probably. Actually, you know what? Was it last night? I was making the tea, and what the hell was I playing? It wasn't. What was it? Was it Defender maybe? I think it was. Yeah, I was playing. I was waiting on my tea to get ready. Tea in Scotland is your dinner. I know tea for English people is a cup of tea, but yeah, tea in Scotland is your dinner. Your dinner in Scotland is the thing you have at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and your tea is what you have about 5 o'clock, just before Magic Roundabout in Jackanory. What was I talking about? Yeah, I was making my tea, and it was like, I had to wait 20 minutes. And I just put on a loaded up, what do you call it, Defender on my big Defender cab, and I had maybe 3 or 4 games of that before my tea was ready. And I was just laughing to myself. I thought, how awesome is that? Being a person who's into classic games, having your own arcade cabinet in your kitchen, you can just load up and have a couple of games of Defender is so cool. I love that. I really, really do. Jambone saying there's always some annoying foible with these hand. Is that how you spell it? Foible? I can never remember. Foible. Foible. That sounds Irish or something. There's always some annoying foible with these handhelds. They never seem to get them quite right. Yeah, there is. I mean, I don't know. Would you ever get the perfect one? I think the perfect one would have it would have a nice, decent sized screen. It would have 2 analog sticks, obviously, for your Robotron stuff, and it would have to have a really, really, really good battery life. If you want to take advice from battery longevity, just take a look at the original DS by Nintendo. That is mental. I bought one, a second-hand one, about, I don't know, 2 years ago, and I never charged it when I got it. When I got it, it had charge in it, and I never played it for about a year. And then when I took it out the drawer, it still had charge in it, and I think I've only charged it once. But yeah, I don't know what they did in Nintendo, but the battery power is insane, absolutely insane. Pity they can't do that with the Switch. But anyway, I know the more powerful obviously drains the batteries and that kind of stuff. Excuse me, I'm just going to have another quick drink of this. Lovely. Oh, it makes my mouth kind of water. Ian saying I can't foresee an Amiga 500 Maxi ever being released, but an A600 with a working keyboard may tickle my fancy. Oh, so right. So right, I've got you right. We're talking about the Mini, and Ian doesn't see. Now, I'm not. I'm not a fan of that word maxi. It's funny how certain words just annoy people. Maxi is one of them, and people, the word Wally, I can't stand that word. I think it's a stupid word. Oh, you Wally. Anyway, yeah, we'll call it the full size one. I can't foresee a full size Amiga ever being released. I think the problem we've got is despite me saying there's 3 different types of people that will buy them, or is it 2 different types? I can't remember. It's still a very, very small market. And I think there's a lot of expense, a lot of sort of research and research and development and what have you, reverse engineering that's got to go into it to really to make that something that's going to work. And I don't know if there's an interest there. I think there would be an interest for I don't know how many people. I don't know how many people are into kind of retro games. Say in the UK, I don't know. Say there's I don't know 500,000, there's not going to be a 500,000 people. That's a lot of nonsense. Say there's 100,000, would that be enough? I don't know. And because there's going to be few people buying it, the price is going to go up as well. It's like the is it what's that new super powerful C64? Is it the C65 or something? I know Panther was going to buy one. Apparently, it's going to be coming in at something like 600 quid. Who's going to pay that for it? Who's going to pay for a machine that's got the kind of C64 badge in it, but it's uber powerful? Why not just get a desktop PC or a laptop and be done with it? You know, I mean, if you are going to bring out a full size thing and like an upgrade, from like the original whatever, then take a look at what they did with the Spectrum Next. Now, as you know, I don't have my Next anymore. I sold it. Do I regret selling it? Of course, I would like to have it. I mean, I'd love to have been able to keep it, but I couldn't afford to keep it. I never, ever, ever used it, and it's a lot of money to have, sitting doing nothing. So, and I was quite happy to get rid of it. Like I said, if money wasn't an option or wasn't an issue, I should say, then I would have kept it. But yeah, the Next, they absolutely knocked it out of the park with the box, the manual, everything. Just awesome, really, really was. But yeah, I tend to agree with you there, Ian. I don't see that ever being a thing, but never say never. Mark's asking me how was the week. What was I doing? What was I doing this week? What was I doing on Monday? I can't remember. I can't even remember what I had for my tea actually. I can't remember. I really can't. That's terrible. I honestly can't remember what I did. I didn't do a great deal. My work's been mega busy. Yeah, and Wednesday, I says I was at Cook School on Wednesday. Oh yeah, I had my I had my grading. Now, if you don't know what grading is, it's basically where you get tested on the stuff that you've learned. And so this was my very, very, very first grading. Now you need to remember, I'm an old bloke. I'm 54 years old. I'm not in particularly good shape. I have never in my life done any martial arts. Well, that's technically not true. See, I've just said it again because I did go to judo for about 3 weeks back in when did Space Invaders come out? 1978. Yeah, and to be honest, if it hadn't been for me going to judo, I may have not discovered Space Invaders, and I may not be sitting here talking to you folks. So there you go. But yeah, I've never really, other than my 2 weeks wasted at judo, I have never done any martial art at all. It's something I always used to sort of think I would love to do that. And I've always been fairly fit. my running. I've achieved quite a lot with running. I don't mind. I don't miss it at all now. But yeah, taking up a martial art when you're 54 is it can be quite scary. And so yeah, I had my grading, and if I pass it, I will go up to the dizzy heights of a white belt with a little yellow band around it. Now I know that sounds bugger all, but trust me, to me that will make my day. Apparently, if you're good, you can get a black belt within 4 years. Now, one of my mates is a black belt, and he says it's the one of the proudest moments of his life, and I'm not surprised because there is so much to learn. You're not just having to actually do it, but you're having to remember it. And that's a big thing. So no, I'm loving it, and so yeah, I had my grading on Wednesday, and I'll be back there. I normally go on a Saturday, but tomorrow it's a black belt only thing, so I'm not invited. I'll be back on Wednesday, so see how we get on. Hopefully, I will have passed it. We'll see. So yeah, thanks for asking, Mark. Yeah, LFC is saying there, yeah, one thing that he despises about some of these minis are the joysticks. The one for the C64 Mini is cheap, nasty, and rather uncomfortable to hold. Absolutely, it is shite. It is. I mean, I had it for quite a long time, and I very rarely played it, just because what LFC is saying there. It's the joystick is garbage. It's like they've gone all out to get the front end and make it look super shiny and really, really nice. And to be fair, they have it. It does look great. And then they put this real cheap, horrible, horrible joystick. Yeah, just terrible. Now I know there has been multiple updates. You can use certain plug-in joysticks. I use one that Panther actually told me to buy. It's USB, and yeah, it works. Is it a Logitech something or other? If you want to know what it is, let me know and I'll try and find out. I think it was about 20 quid on Amazon, and that works really well. But again, you're playing a C64 on using a joypad, and it's I don't know, it just doesn't work as well. But yeah, I despise the joysticks as well. They're horrible, horrible things. Mark saying there, it's kind of stupid. Retro heads have original hardware with proper joysticks. These are aimed at the general population. Yeah, absolutely. Tony's saying there, you'll need around £5,000 for Japan for 233 weeks. Sorry, Tony. I just noticed what you said underneath. Yeah, I'm like, that's a bizarre. So I could go and live in Japan for what would that be? 6 years for £5,000. That's not bad. He meant to say 2 weeks. Right, okay. I might. That's not going to be anytime soon. I'll tell you, the only one thing that would put me off, I wouldn't like about being in Japan, is their attitude to like food, and more particular like live animals. They eat live fish, and they'll eat live squid and octopus. I mean, we've all seen these horrible dishes where they serve a dish and the animal is still alive. I mean, that is just brutally cruel, horrible thing. And I mean, I don't know, is it more in sort of like Taiwan, whatever it is, in Indonesia, where they eat dogs and cats, and I've seen videos on YouTube where they've got cats and dogs in cages, and it's just that would upset me. I have to say, I really would. I wouldn't like to see that. I would end up wanting to buy the dog and then letting it go. But yeah, maybe that's wrong. Maybe I've got the wrong idea about these countries. But that is one thing that I wouldn't like, I have to say. Ian's got insomnia. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, trust me, Ian, this channel in particular, this video is the best cure for insomnia ever. It will have you sleeping in no time. Colin says he needs a beer. Talking of which, I'm going to have another quick swig of my. Actually, I'm just going to mention something. Excuse me. I was at last Saturday. I was at what do you call it? I was at a bowling club quiz. No, it wasn't a quiz. It was a bowling club kind of night out. There was a guy singing, actually really good. And I've been to quite a few of them, and it's the same people. You see the same groups of people. You know, they have it maybe every 6 weeks, and it's the same people you see, and they all have a good time. And there's a young guy that goes along, and you know, he's one of these guys. I mean, nowadays I don't think women dance with men and men dance with women. People just seem to dance en masse. And this guy, this young guy, he was always he would be getting drunk, having a good time up on the dance floor, and just really enjoying himself. And at Christmas time, I think it was just after Christmas, I was there, and I was in the toilet, and he came in and he went, "Oh, how you doing, mate?" And I said, "Ah, not bad." And he said, "Enjoying yourself?" I said, "Ah, yeah, yeah." And you know, we made small talk, and that was kind of the end of it. And when I was there on Saturday, I was looking about, and I thought, "Oh, I wonder where that guy is. He's not there. He's not there." And then we found out about 2 weeks before, just not far from my girlfriend's house, we heard that somebody had been knocked down with a car and killed. And just as we were about to leave, we got talking to this old couple that were sitting behind us. And it turns out it was their son, that guy that actually got killed. And well, I mean, there's not a good way for that to happen. But apparently, he was about to cross the road, and or I think did he? Yeah, he stepped out to cross the road, and a car apparently came hurtling round the corner. They said he was doing about 80 miles an hour on a 30 limit, hit the guy, and he actually got jammed underneath the car, and they drove for about another 100 yards with this poor guy trapped under the car. And they drove off and left the guy for dead. And I think he was dead on the scene. And you know what? It just we've sort of, you know, as a nation, a society, we've become so sort of desensitized to sort of death and accidents and things because it happens all the time. I mean, look at Ukraine now. Even I remember reading an article about a month ago. I don't know how long the Ukraine war's been going on now. It's been going on probably about 6 weeks, maybe something like that. And somebody said that they reckon it's going to become one of these long wars where it's just it gets to a point where it doesn't even become the main news. You know, it's they talk about other stuff, and then you get and finally in Ukraine, blah blah blah. Russian troops have moved in on blah blah blah, and we're kind of at that point now with the Ukraine war, and it's sad because you know, every morning the first thing I do is I go into my phone and I just have a quick look at the BBC News, and you know, you'll read something 40 people were killed in a missile strike on an office block, and you just become desensitized to it. You really do. And it's the same with like when you hear somebody's been knocked down and killed by a car, you don't even it doesn't even register. You went, oh, that's terrible. And then you instantly forget about it. But the fact that I knew who it was, the fact that I spoke to that guy at Christmas time, and to try and get your head around that this guy is no longer here. He's gone. And although I didn't know his mum and dad, as I was leaving, I just went up and spoke to them and actually gave them both a kind of hug. And I just said I was so sorry to hear about their son. And I actually got quite emotional because I can't even begin to imagine how his mum and dad must be feeling right now. Absolutely tragic. But anyway, sorry for kind of lowering the tone of the stream a wee bit. BB8, yeah, Christ, I am. In fact, God, I'm about half an hour behind in the comments. Evening, Jamie. How are you, buddy? Two Unlimited. What the hell was Jambone talking about? Yeah, Jamie's saying there the PC Engine Mini is fantastic. Yeah, I do. I have to say, I like it, and I think you can also. Can you not also play some of the CD games? I think you can. Sorry, I'm just. Ian's saying there he still uses the Ouya for emulating 8-bit. You know what, Ian? Whoops, a daisy. I've never I've never actually seen an Ouya. I just know it's one of these machines that people talk about in the same way, like the Atari Jaguar, and say it was a failure. The Virtua Boy was a failure. It doesn't actually mean machines that fail doesn't actually mean it's not a good system. So I'm not going to comment. I've people, like I says, I've heard that the Ouyas might be rubbish, but I don't know. But you know what? If it works for you, what is the problem? Mark saying there he's not going to get an A500 Mini. He's got the A1200. I've got one of them, and he'll get a maxi. Oh, I don't like that word. He'll get a full size one if it was FPGA. Yes, I don't really understand any of that stuff. Evening, Alex. Alex uses an Amberneck 351M. I don't even know. I have no idea what the one I've got. I says it's that little orange one up in the top corner. No idea. Austin Maxi. My goodness, that's an old car, that. Yeah, Jamie's saying there, no Alien Crush is on it, but no Devil Crush. Oh no, Alien Crush is on the Mini, but no Devil Crush. However, Sapphire is on it. Yeah, Sapphire's a great. That was one of the CD based. What do you call it? PC Engine games. It's really, really good. Really impressive. Hi, Dale. Yeah, there's Dale just jumped in just now. Sorry, not around, folks. I've had some bad news, which I'm trying to digest. I dare say it will work out. I just don't think so. Right, just now. Yeah, listen, mate. I said I will give you a call on Sunday, mate. We'll catch up then, buddy. But yeah, big love to you, mate. We're all thinking of you. You're definitely missed, mate. So you take care, and we'll catch up on Sunday, buddy. Dun, dun, dun. Right. What's Mark talking about? Evening, Catherine. How are you? I heard. Sorry, needs some colour. Al heard needs some. Heard needs some. What the hell are you talking about? Do you mean hair needs some colour? Weird thing is my hair is well grey. I don't care. Did you feel awkward losing your hair? No, I don't. I'm not actually. I've not lost my hair. I have got a full head of hair if I let it grow. I just don't like grey. As simple as that. I really, really don't like grey. I mean, if I didn't dye my beard, it would be pretty much grey there. You can see a bit of grey coming in there. It would be kind of black there, quite grey around there. I just don't like grey hair. And you know what? If dyeing it makes me feel better, then nothing wrong with it. But no, I do actually have a full head of hair. Sometimes I think to myself, I mean, I've been shaving my head since 2000, I think it is. The reason I do it is because I can do it myself. You don't have to cut it; you just shave it. Um, I like it. I like the hassleness of it. There's no hassle at all. Hassle free, I should say. Hasselhoff, Baywatch, Pamela Anderson. Anyway, yeah, hassle free. I like the hassle free, hassless hassle. God, of not having any hair. Will I grow it back at some point? I have over the years gone to grow it back, and it gets to about 3 weeks, and then it starts. I can see the grey cut coming through, and I'm like, no. I'm just trying. Nah, I was going to say, do you want it? Nah, you don't want to see a picture of me with my beard when it was grey. Nah, you don't want to see that. Even if you do, you're not seeing it. So no, I could grow a wonderful flowing barnet, but I choose to cut it. Will Smith's temper has become more important in Ukraine. You know what? You're absolutely right, Ian, and it's just what I was saying about the Ukraine war is now becoming sort of like, yeah, it's just becoming something that's sort of like we're kind of used to it now. And the fact that we're talking about an overpaid actor hitting another overpaid person across the face, who cares? I certainly don't. Yeah, LFC's there. Yeah, very heartbreaking news. Also, who the hell decides to drive? Yeah, apparently it was about midnight, which makes no excuse at all. But the fact that they've driven off. I mean, when I hear of people driving off, and you immediately say, what a bastard they are, whatever. And then I sometimes stop to myself and think, well, what would I do? What would I do if I was out, if I was driving one night and I knocked somebody down? Would you panic? Would you just get this over sense of panicking and then want to drive off? I would hate to think that I would do that, and I don't think I would because I'm a decent person. Um, yeah, there's somebody out there basically knowing that they've killed a guy. I think he was 27 or something. He'd actually just won. He just won a bowling championship, I think, a couple of weeks before as well. So yeah, really sad, and it just kind of hit home because I didn't know the guy. He wasn't a friend of mine or anything, but the fact that the weird thing was the fact that I actually noticed he wasn't there, and the fact that I spoke to him and then talked to his mum and dad. It's awful. It really is. Um, Right, Mark is asking, when are we going to have an Amstrad CPC stream? Yeah, definitely, Mark. I will have an Amstrad stream. I do get quite upset when people talk about my channel and they just say that I play C64 games. Yeah, I know that's my main system, and the reason that's the case is because I've got the I've got the knowledge and the memory and the nostalgia for that system, which I don't. Excuse me, which I don't have for any other system. So it's hard if you don't know the games in a system. It's hard to you can't make up nostalgia. You can't have nostalgia for something you've just seen. But saying that, I do try my best. Not particularly well, I have to say. Trying to kind of keep people watching. It's not always about. I know there's. I'm not naive to think that there's only C64 owners in the world. The Spectrum, I love the Spectrum. I really do love that. Obviously, we've just been playing that for about what seems like 16, 17 weeks, I think, possibly. Uh, And then last week we did do the BBC stream, which I think, to be fair, it did go. I think it went pretty well. I couldn't get the coin ops thing to work, but I think it went fine. Apart from when it's keys, does anybody use that Joy 2 key thing? I used to be able to get it working. Now I don't know how to get it working. I might actually have to watch a YouTube channel and get it going. But yeah, listen, in fact next on Sunday. What I've done is I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 100 of the most favourite Commodore 64 games. Now, what I've done is in Discord, I asked people to name their not so much their in like a reverse order. Name 50 Commodore 64 games that they think are great. So quite a few people have done it. I'm going to do my own 50. And then what we'll do is we'll cobble them all together and basically hopefully get 100 games, and then I'll play through them. It's probably going to take, I don't know, it's going to take 4 or 5 weeks anyway. So it is going to be a Commodore 64 video on Sunday, 7 o'clock to 8, I think. Sorry, 7 till 9 again. It's going to be C64, but I will do an Amstrad. God, I'm getting a bit too warm now, actually. Tony's saying there 10 years ago, Jack Tramiel died. I I'm just looking at a comment down below. Um, yeah, I foolishly asked in a waffle, was Jack Tramiel. I think we were talking about people you'd love to interview from the kind of retro scene, and yeah, I said Jack Tramiel, and I couldn't remember if he was dead or not. So I've just missed the bus by 10 years. Sorry, I'm laughing at Catherine's comment. Have you ever considered doing a calendar for charity? No, but I, I have from time to time mentioned about, is anybody interested in a T-shirt, a Mainmeister T-shirt, an Abolics T-shirt, or I don't know, a mug or a mouse mat. I says a guy that used to watch my channel years ago did actually make me that. There we go, Mainmeister. That was a bollocks pose. Um, what was I going to say? And I always kind of feel slightly uncomfortable with that. Not because I mind being adorned in people's bedrooms. I just feel it could be construed as being like, who the hell do you think you are? You really think you're that popular that people are going to want to buy a calendar? Um, However, it'd be an ideal stocking filler. Listen, if people wanted something like that, I mean, I did sell I did sell some mugs, Mainmeister. I think it was Abolics mugs. Oh, probably about 8 9 years ago, and I think we sold about, I don't know, maybe about 15 or something. They were quite pricey. I mean, I think they were coming in at about £8 each or something. But that was I didn't make anything. I think what I did was, I can't remember. Say they were coming in at £8, and then I think we rounded it up to like £10, and then the money, the £2 went to charity. So I think we raised about £30, which was fine. But if I was going to do something like that, I would be more than happy to just, the money doesn't go to me. The money goes straight to whatever it is, the company that actually makes them. Let me know if you want something like that for a laugh. Um, I'll do it. Maybe you need to pick what games I need to play. Obviously, China Miner's going to have to be one of them. But yeah, listen, thanks, Catherine. If you want a Main Meister calendar for your Christmas, I'm sure we can make that happen. Yeah, fantastic. How are we doing for time? Bloody, I said I was going to be short and sweet, and handling his joystick suggestively. You keep that foul mouth talk out of this channel, Mr. Jambonamental. Anyway, right, LFC, it seems that some people are more invested in the lives of celebrities than their own. Couldn't give a rat's ass about the Fresh Prince. You know what really, really hacks me off is if you go to one of these websites, I don't even know what. If I'm at work and I open up a new tab, it comes up with, is it Microsoft News or something, and all you get is Elon Musk about I think he now owns 7% of Twitter. That, or Prince Harry and that woman that he married. Who cares? Who gives a fig about people like that? Not me. Well, there's people starving in the world at the moment. There's people homeless. There's a war going on at the moment, and people still want to listen to Elon Musk talk about how many trillions of pounds he's made with his bloody Tesla stuff. Just, it's the world's it's upside down. Anyway, LFC saying, since I've been uploading C64 music on my channel, I'm thinking of doing a top 15. Yeah, you should. I mean, we did that. The what do you call it? The Sid show. I know Panther and Lacose are they're doing it on Panther's channel. There's only been one, I think. I don't know. There's bound to be another one on the making at some point. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed making them. We did 7 in total. It was good fun, good banter. I think it ran its course. Simple as that. Let's see. Jamie saying there, really enjoyed the BBC micro stream. Only used one at primary school, and even then it was brief. Just pod in Granny's Garden. I've heard the Granny's Garden, but I don't actually know what the game is. The first video game I ever played on a home computer, it was on the Apple II, and it was called Lemonade Stand. And you had to, it would give you a prediction of the weather forecast. So you'd have to decide how much lemonade you would make, how much advertising you would have, how many spoons of sugar you would put in it. And then it was about trying to make money. So it was kind of an educational game. But yeah, glad you enjoyed it, Squire. Are we almost? Well, you know what? Yep. Right. Listen, I know I've said it before, and I've never actually done anything. Jamie said he'd buy an Arcade Perfect My Arse t-shirt. Mark says he would love a black Mainmeister t-shirt. And Catherine said she's going to hold me to that now with a calendar. Right. And Ian would love an Abolix mug. There you go. When people, I hope you stand up for me when I start getting flack about being pretentious, about being arrogant, about being big-headed, and who do you think you are? I trust you lot will wire in and tell them where to go. But now, listen, you know what? It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. LFC wants a sponsored Liverpool shirt. Right, listen. Yeah. Let me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the questions from 2 weeks ago if I can find it. All right, let's have a quick look. So this was from the Waffle from the 25th of March. Dave Connolly, hey dude, I appreciate your sound effects piece from last week. I watched it and thoroughly enjoyed it. Funnily, I actually had the Hyper Sports cheer down as a favourite too. Excellent. Many thanks for everything you're doing. Cheers, Dave. Mark, whatever, is saying off-topic stuff is great. Keep it up, Al. I have very little interest in SNES or Mega Drive games, except in comparison videos. Yeah, I did do a SNES video, and I think it got something like 3 views. It's people want to hear me talk shite. They don't want to hear me talk about Mega Drive games or whatever. LFC Gamer, another awesome video, Al. In all honesty, I don't mind you going off topic in these videos. If anything, it adds greater enjoyment and personality to an already enjoyable series. I also think it's a great way of showing people there's more to you than just the usual game. And thank you very, very much, Squire. I mean, I've been talking about video games for so long now that I've kind of reached the bottom of the tank. The tank is now officially empty. But I can just talk. And if people, if people enjoy that, then fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much. Ox, I've not seen Ox. I don't think Ox is in tonight. Al, talking about what your mum or mum and dad, because Ox is from I'm going to say Newcastle just to piss him off. He's from the northeast. We'll leave it at that. Talking about what your mum and dad have missed technology-wise, I have to say the older I get and faster things change, the more estranged I feel from the old ways. Is life getting overcomplicated, too demanding? When you look back, it was certainly simpler, easier, and definitely happier. Also, I've literally edited this a few times to correct grammar mistakes, and YouTube is making me out to be a by putting them back in, but it only shows the changes after a screen refresh. Technology, indeed. Yeah, who was I talking? I was talking to somebody about that the other day there. As much as I do love games and technology and all that kind of stuff, I do kind of yearn for a more simpler life. We're just everything is just it's got to be instant. We're so it is we're far too complicated. I mean, one of my pet hates is when I'm out and about, and I do if I'm on a train, if I'm in a cafe or whatever, and you look up and all you see is this. People are like that on their phone, and you can maybe get three people sitting at a table and they're all on their phone, and that just really, really pisses me off. You know, life is passing you by, folks. Get off your phone. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I totally agree with Ox. Um, Colin Jones, I love you going off topic and waffles just as well, Colin, because I do it quite regularly. I'm good with whatever you do, even consoles. Was I asking about if you're all right with me going off topic? I must have. Your way of presenting is what does it for me, so it doesn't matter what you do. You're not older than me. Fact. Excellent. I am officially not the oldest person on YouTube. Then that's made my weekend actually. Waffle question. With the first decent weather of the year, I've been busy in the garden. Nothing too much, just basically keeping it from being a jungle. Do you have any gardening plans for the coming weeks? My garden, Colin, when I moved into this house, it was how you doing, Badger? What do you call it? What am I talking about? Yeah, when I first moved in, it was like a jungle. It literally was a jungle. My house had actually stood empty for a couple of years, and the grass was, 5 feet tall. And having two dogs, dogs have business, and so I thought, no. Once the summer came around, I got rid of the grass. I think it was 13 tons of chips down, and I got some decking put down. Evening, Ox. We were actually literally just talking about you. We were talking about you about 2 minutes ago, buddy. Yeah, so I've got it chipped, so there is no gardening at all. I would love to. I would love to have a garden with grass and flowers and what have you, but I'm too lazy. I am inherently lazy when it comes to things like gardening. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I like having a simplistic garden, but if somebody wants to come round and do my garden for me, fantastic. Excuse me, and there's another couple still to go. Highlander, going off topic is fine, in my opinion. I've never had a problem with it. Going off topic is part and parcel of the waffle. Yeah, I think that's why my waffles don't get a lot of views, because let's be honest, they're not really. If you don't really know me, if you don't watch my channel, why are you going to want to listen to this guy just talking about random stuff? I think the reason some people enjoy it is because you know me, you've been watching my channel for long enough. Um, so you're more likely to kind of want to hear what shite I've got to say. But if you didn't know me, I mean, if I put a video on and somebody was just randomly talking, I would probably switch it off. Well, you know what? There's Panther. He's hit the nail on the head. I think the day you stay on topic will be the day most of your viewers bugger off. Yep, that says it all. Thanks, Panther. 8-bit Steve. I've not seen him in tonight. Hi, Al. Some comments on your waffle. First, I will admit I started to watch your SNES video but quit after only 3 or 4 minutes. Nothing to do with you, just the game does not appeal to me at all. About your waffle, I always watch it and it's totally fine if you wander off topic and talk about other stuff. Just no football ever, please. Well, I'm not a football fan. I very, very rarely talk about football. The only time I'll probably mention it would be like in the World Cup with Scotland, if Scotland qualify. Am I right in thinking? So I'm going to talk about football for a second. There's Scotland playing Ukraine in the qualifiers, and then if whoever wins that plays Wales. Is that? I'm sure I heard someone saying that. Also, the BBC had a beeper. Nope, the Spectrum had a beeper. The Beeb had very good 4-channel sound. Now, a question: what was the first game you ever pirated, and what system was it on? Well, it's definitely going to be the Commodore 64 because I only had one game for my Texas. The first game I pirated. I can't remember exactly. It might have been. It was probably a guy called Brian. He had a C64 and he had loads of games. It might have been. It might have been Kong by Interceptor Software. That would have been one of them. There was probably more than one at that point. There was one called Dancing Feats, which was a kind of a like a music synthesizer. You waggled the joystick and it kind of played music. Google it, Dancing Feats. It was pretty shit, to be honest with you. There was also one. Oh no! It was a clone of Centipede, and it was called, was it Mega Mania? Not Megalomania, Mega Mania or Maggot Mania. Yeah, yeah, Maggot Mania. That's what it was. Funny how these things come back to you. I can't remember what I had for my tea earlier on yet. I can remember the name of a game from 40 years ago. So probably one of these ones, Steve. Ox is saying he must have been one of the few that enjoyed the Demon Crest video. Fantastic. Jambone, he enjoyed Demon Crest video as well. He hadn't seen the game. I was going through games and that one popped up. I do love myself a bit of Ghosts and Goblins. I love the whole kind of gothicy thing. And is this the last one? No, still another couple. Down the rabbit hole. Great waffle as always, Alan, and do not worry about going off topic. I suspect that is the very definition of a waffle anyway, isn't it? Wonder whatever takes you. We'll be along for the ride. Oh, and I have a similar story to your delivery fella seeing your games collection. Oh yeah, I was talking about that. When we first moved here, we had a table delivered, and the guys hoisting it into our living room walked past my 1971 computer space cabinet. They were amazed and gave me a huge thumbs up. That is awesome. And Ox is saying, if I'm honest, Alan, it might bother me slightly if you're waffling almost completely off topic, but you have to put some of yourself in there as well. Maybe shake the format up a bit and put in some reports on what's relevant in retro gaming news. And that is the reason I did it. Ox, if you rewind this video to the start, I just Googled retro gaming news and I actually talked about a couple of things, including a pixel flavored Coca-Cola. There you go. Evening, Craig. How are you, buddy? Mr. Craig Ferguson is in the room. Yeah, I've not. Well, I was talking to Craig on the phone actually not that long ago. Him and I have been kind of into YouTube for quite a long time. Evening, Alan. Much the same as others have said. Keep up the waffle. It's like blethering with a pal. Don't change. Thank you very much, Craig, and I hope you're well, buddy. And lastly, LFC is saying they are indeed never change for anyone. Well, if I'm going out, I will occasionally put on a fresh pair of underpants. So on that bombshell, guys, I'm going to bid you good night. I hope you have. I hope you enjoy the rest of Friday evening. Enjoy your weekend. I will be along on Sunday, 7 o'clock till 9. It's going to be a Commodore 64, part one of probably 5. If I've got 100 games to play through as well. So listen, guys, stay safe. Have a great weekend. And as always, thank you so much for watching.